Hello, dear students. Welcome to this new lesson, which is intended for students of grade 12. In this episode, we're going to revise active words from Module 1, Unit 3, which is entitled Human Values. But first, we'll take a short break, then we'll be right back. So stay with us. Welcome back, dear students. As I said earlier, we're going to revise active words from Module 1, Unit 3, which is entitled Human Values. So here is the first word from the active words list, and it is the word value. Value is a noun, and it means, by definition, a person's principles or standards of behavior. It's one's judgment or what is important in life. So it means the principles that guide your decisions, your judgment, and sometimes your behavior in terms of what is important in life. So compassion, for example, tolerance and freedom are universal human values. So let's look at a list. So as you see in this grid, there are so many human values. Maybe you know so many of them, like peace, love, and also the friendship. Honesty is another human value. So justice is another one, and thankfulness, helpfulness, respect is another one. So all these are values or principles that guide your life and your decisions and also your judgment of things. Now let's move to the next word, which is the word compassion. Compassion is a noun. It is one of the universal human values, and it means the innocent act of helping someone you don't know. So, for example, we can use this word in a sentence, and the sentence reads, elderly people need time and compassion from their doctors or physicians. Now, the next word is empathy. Empathy is also a noun, and it means the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. So if someone is suffering and you feel he's suffering, you understand what he is going through, we call this empathy or also sympathy, right? So let's read the sentence with the word empathy. He felt great empathy or great sympathy towards the poor. So many students ask me sometimes, what's the difference between empathy and compassion? Can they be equivalent? Can we use them as synonyms? Can we use the one for another? Well, empathy means that you feel the suffering of others. So if you see someone suffering, someone who is in pain, you feel what he is feeling. You put yourself in his place. For compassion, if you see a beggar, for example, who is basking or asking for money, or who is hungry, you provide him with some money or you provide him with food, and that is compassion. So you try to help that person who is suffering. Right, we move to the next word, which is an adjective. And as you see in this short video clip, this dog looks aggressive. Aggressive is an adjective, which means to be ready or likely to attack or confront. It's to be ready to use force and attack at any minute. For example, this type of dog is very aggressive, is very dangerous, and can attack any moment. Next word is the noun abuse. And abuse means a cruel and violent treatment of a person. And this cruelty can be physical or it can be emotional and psychological. Now, what do you think this person is doing for a job? Well, she is an anthropologist. An anthropologist is a noun, which means a person who studies people, their societies, and their cultures. Now, anthropologists believe that cultures share basic traits or basic values. Well, apparent is an adjective, and this adjective means clearly visible or understood. Okay, so something apparent means something that is clear, something that you can see with your own eyes. Now, the fingerprints became apparent under the microscope. Now, what do you think this man is suffering from? He is suffering from a normal cold. And to alleviate the symptoms of such cold, okay, he needs to take some medicine or take some home remedies or some kind of or some rest. Okay, so let's read the sentence. You can't cure a common cold, but you can alleviate the symptoms. So what does the word alleviate mean? It means to make less severe. Okay, so to make less severe, to make a suffering or a deficiency or a problem less severe, we say to alleviate. Now, have a look at the following group of people. They are sitting around a table. They are discussing a problem or an issue. They are trying to avert a crisis. To avert is a verb, which means to prevent something bad from happening or to avoid. They are discussing, they're talking about, exchanging ideas in order to avoid or to prevent a crisis in the company. So here is a sentence. More talks were proposed in an attempt to avert the crisis. So to avert means to avoid or to prevent something from happening. Well, the next word for today is the word charitable. And charitable is used as an adjective. It is used to describe a noun. And it means intended to help people who are poor or ill, or who need advice and support. For example, we say, people should donate a part of one's earnings to charitable causes. Okay? It means to help others. The engagement party was way over the top. The expression over the top means also extravagant. Okay, so these are two words. One is an expression and the other is an adjective, which mean exceeding what is reasonable or acceptable or appropriate. Okay, so when something is over the top, it means it is unacceptable. It's exceeding what is reasonable. It's too much. Okay, so we say it is extravagant. Discrimination is a word, it is a noun, and it means the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of race, age, or gender. Simply put, it means to treat someone differently because of his age, because of his gender, whether he's a male or a female, or because of his race, okay, of his skin color, for example. So that's discrimination. Laws have been passed banning, okay, illegalizing racial discrimination. We should not differentiate, we should not make a difference between people based on their race or age or gender. Right. Now, there was some diversity of opinion about what should be done. Now, the word diversity is a noun, and it means variety, a range of different things. Cultural diversity, for example, means cultural variety, cultural richness, in a way. Well, what happened here? So the glass or the milk is spilt. Now, cry over spilt milk is an idiomatic expression, is an idiom. And idioms are a group of words which should not be taken literally. You should not you should not try to understand these words separately, but you should understand the expression as a figurative, expression. That's why we call it as an idiom. You cannot change the order of these words. You cannot change the words themselves. You cannot, for example, say, cry over spilt water. Okay? You have to use the expression as it is, cry over spilt milk. And the meaning of this expression is to regret something after it is too late. So it means to regret something. For example, you made a mistake, but there is no use. crying over spilt milk. Okay? Remember that we can say spilt or spilled. Okay? So there are two spellings for this word. Have a look at the following pack of dogs. So they are approaching, the dogs are approaching the farm in leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds is another expression, another idiomatic expression, which means rapidly and very quickly. Okay? So in leaps and bounds is an expression which means very swiftly, very fast. Here is another example. The boy's health has improved quickly. Okay, so his health has improved in leaps and bounds. He was sick, but he recovered very quickly. Right. Now, what is the word that we can use in order to mean to put something to use? So the word that could be used is the word to deploy. Okay? It is a verb and can be used in a sentence such as this. The new manager promised to deploy modern technology efficiently. You can deploy equipment. You can deploy also human resources. You can deploy people. Okay? How does this man or woman look like? Okay? Old, right? Now, if you want to use an idiomatic expression to refer to an old person, you say over the hill. Over the hill can be used in a sentence like this. This actor is over the hill. This actor is old. Right. This is another old man. And how does he look? He is a vulnerable old man. Vulnerable is an adjective which means weak. Okay? So vulnerable means frail or weak or easy to get hurt physically or mentally. Okay, nice. So have a look at the following picture. We have a kitten and we have the dog. So the kitten looks vulnerable. The kitten looks very weak. Right. So elephants are incapable of flying. Well, this is a photoshopped photo, okay? And as you know, elephants cannot fly, but they are incapable of flying. Incapable is an adjective which means not able to do something. Right? Have a close look at the following picture. What do you notice? Someone is multitasking. He's driving, he's eating, trying to send a message, and trying to drink. So, and what's going to be the consequence of this? As you can see, the inevitable, the certain consequence of this is an accident. The adjective inevitable means impossible to avoid or to prevent. It means it is certain to happen. It's going to happen 100%. Because as you can see, the boy on the bicycle is very close to the car and the driver is busy doing lots of other things. And the inevitable consequence of this, the result of this, is going to be an accident. So the accident was the inevitable result of carelessness. Let's move to the next word. And the next word is used in this sentence. He is frail, but still manages to walk with a stick. Now, the word frail, which is underlined in the sentence, means weak and delicate. Okay, so frail can be used as a synonym to the word, a word that we have studied just a few seconds ago, which is the word, very good, vulnerable. So vulnerable and frail can be used as synonyms. Well, legislation. Legislation is a noun, okay, which means a set of rules, law. Can be used in a sentence like this. The government has passed new legislations to protect consumers. Okay? Right. He fought for his liberty. Do you know another word which can stand for the word liberty, which has the meaning of liberty? Okay? Liberty is a noun, and the synonym for it is freedom. Okay? He fought for his freedom, for his liberty. The Statue of Liberty is a national monument in the United States. Okay, so you know it. Have a look at this picture and try to count the number of those who said no and the number of those who voted yes. And try to compare the number. We have 6 people voted no and 1 person who voted yes. So we use the word minority as a noun in order to mean a smaller number. Okay, so here the minority is those who voted yes. So the smaller number or part, especially a number that is less than half the whole number. Okay. So if the number is less than half, we say it's a minority group. Okay, it is a small group. The opposite of minority is the majority. Okay. It's only a tiny minority, a tiny number or small number of people who voted in favor of the new decision. Okay, great. Now, what do we call a short description of something? If you read a short description of something, that is an overview. I've read an overview. Okay? I'll give you a brief overview of what the job involves. It means I'm going to give you a short description. Tolerance is a noun which means acceptance. Okay, so it means willing to accept someone else's beliefs or way of life without criticizing them, even if they disagree with them. Which means that the word tolerance means we have to accept or acceptance of other people's ideas, even if they are different than ours. We need to show greater tolerance or greater acceptance of each other. So tolerance can be used as a synonym to being open-minded. So open-mindedness and acceptance and tolerance can go together in terms of meaning, of course. Food is a subject of almost universal interest. The adjective in universal means applicable to all cases. Okay? It's applicable to all cases. Wherever you go, the subject of food is still something of interest to people. To donate is a verb which means to give. What do people donate? Okay? So you can donate blood, people can donate medicine, old clothes, money. So there are so many things that we can donate. So remember, the verb to donate means to give money or goods for a good cause, for example, to a charity. Great. Now it's time for practice. Let's move to the first exercise. Okay, so it is a multiple choice exercise from A, B, C, and D. Choose the best word. Here is the sentence. New workers will be wherever they are needed all over the company's branches. And the list of words: deployed, donated, averted, or alleviated. Remember the meaning of the word alleviate, to make less, and avert, to prevent, donate, to give, and to deploy means to employ or to put to use. So let's read the sentence again and choose the best word to complete the meaning. New workers will be, and the right answer is deployed. New workers will be employed, new workers will be used wherever they are needed all over the company's branches. Next sentence, the lifestyle of movie stars is always criticized by mass media. So television, reporters, and also journalists, they criticize the life of movie stars because their lifestyle is aggressive, apparent, extravagant, or charitable. Okay? So aggressive means ready to attack, ready to use force. Apparent means clear, extravagant means over the top or too much, and charitable means to give in order to help. Okay? So what do you think the right word is? The right word is extravagant. The lifestyle of movie stars is criticized for being very extravagant, over the top. Next sentence, the decoration of Sarah's birthday party was, it's really a waste of money. Now, this sentence gives you a clue to what the missing word could be. Is it over the hill, over the top, in leaps and bounds, or over a barrel? Over the hill means very old. Over the top, it means too much. In leaps and bounds means quickly, rapidly. Over a barrel means in a difficult situation. And the right word or the right expression here is over the top. Okay, so the decoration for Sarah's birthday party was extravagant, was over the top. Great. My English has improved during this intensive course. So I took an intensive course, and thanks to that, my level, my English, has improved in leaps and bounds, over the top, over a barrel, or over the hill. I gave you the meaning of these expressions. Try to choose one. My English has improved, very good, in leaps and bounds. It means my English has improved quickly thanks to the crash course that I've just taken. Next sentence, there is a greater in the city's population now. Okay, so there's greater what? Greater variety. Try to find a word that means variety. Attribute, abuse, appeal, or diversity. And the right answer is, as you might have guessed, diversity. Okay? And the sentence reads, there is a greater variety or diversity in the city's population now. Next sentence, okay? People with high blood pressure are especially to diabetes. So they are voluntary, they are extensive, they are vulnerable, or they are dire. Okay? Pick up a word, and the adjective that is suitable to complete the meaning of this sentence is the adjective vulnerable, of course. Okay? So people with high blood pressure are especially vulnerable. They are weak and they can suffer from diabetes easily. Minorities should be protected against abuse and worldwide by effective legislation. So what is the word that could be used here? Is it the word value? We're looking for a noun, of course. Is it the word suffrage? Is it the word empathy, or the word discrimination? So minorities should be protected against abuse, against cruel treatment, and also against discrimination. Right. Human rights should be given to people regardless their race, color, and beliefs. Voluntary, vulnerable, apparent, or inevitable. Let's read the sentence again. Human rights should be given to people. So it means we should not deprive this category of people from their human rights. And these people can be described as vulnerable. Okay? So weak people, vulnerable people should be given their human rights as well as all the others. Next sentence, and the next list of words. Universal is the right of all adults to vote or to be members of the parliaments of their countries. Legislation, B, suffrage, C, compassion, and ethnographer is option D. Right? So universal what? Is the right of all adults to vote. Which word means to give the right to vote? It is the word suffrage. Okay? So universal suffrage is the right of all adults to vote. Okay? So there is the definition of the word suffrage. Now let's move to the second type of exercise for today. It is going to be the last exercise, which is a gap filling exercise. So fill in the blanks with the suitable words from the list below. And here comes the list. The first word is inevitable, is certain to happen. The second word is abuse, which means cruel, tough treatment of someone. Liberty means freedom. Charitable is an adjective. And the word impulse. Impulse means to act, to have an urge to act, okay? To act without thinking. That's an impulse. And diversity means variety, and the word tolerance, which means acceptance. let's move to the first sentence in this exercise. The actor claimed to have been a victim of child cruelty. Okay, so what is the word that means cruelty or being treated in a cruel way? It is the word abuse. Okay, so the actor claimed to have been a victim of child abuse. Next sentence. The school encourages an attitude of towards all people. What type of attitude? Okay, it is an attitude of tolerance. The school teaches us to accept the other even though they are different in their opinion, and their opinion are different than ours. Next sentence, the entire organization is funded by what type of donations? It is a charitable donation. Okay, let's read the sentence again. The entire organization, all the company, is funded by charitable donations. Next sentence, for most citizens means the freedom to practice their religious or political beliefs. So what is the word that means freedom? It is the word, very good, liberty. For citizens, liberty means the freedom to practice their religious or political beliefs. Good. Let's move to the next sentence. Disease was an consequence of poor living conditions. So if someone or a group of people live in poor hygiene or poor living conditions, then this is, so disease is going to be an inevitable consequence. Okay, so they are going to suffer from diseases for certain, for sure. Does television adequately reflect cultural of the country, cultural richness? Another word for richness or variety is the noun diversity. Okay? So television reflects cultural diversity of a country. Okay, dear students, our lesson has come to an end. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope it was beneficial for you. So till we meet again, take good care and goodbye.